everybody, today we find ourselves in the state of Washington. Come here for a couple of days to visit my mom, and while I'm here I'm going to take in a couple of the sights. In this video we're going to be visiting two pretty famous mountains that everybody I'm sure has heard of at some point. The first one, we are actually on our way to it, and we saw this little area where you could stop off and get a view of it. The first one we're going to be visiting is Mount Rainier, and I will show it to you right now. Another bonus of this little stop that we made on our way up to see Mount Rainier is there's a whole bunch of blackberry bushes here, so we were able to get a nice little handful of blackberries. They're delicious too. Let's try some of these things here. Oh my god, those are so good. Nothing like free blackberries on the side of the road. So we're still on our way to Rainier, and we come across the Recycled Spirits of Iron Sculpture Park. Here's the sign for it. So it kind of came up on us quickly, so I had to actually slam on the brakes to get in here. But it's open to the public. Welcome into my imagination. Please wipe your feet. We've entered the Rainier National Park, and we're on our way up to see if we can get some really good views of Rainier. And we've come across this waterfall here. It looks like it's called Christine Falls. At least I think that's what it's called. If I am not correct, I will put it at the bottom. Here's the viewpoint of Christine Falls. Not from here, maybe around the corner. Mount Rainier has been called the Great Pyramid of the United States. No other mountain on the continent exceeds Rainier in bulk of rock masses, number of glaciers, 26 active, and extent of base. Nearly all of Mount Rainier National Park's 337 square miles belong to the mighty mountain. Geologists believe the original peak lost 2,000 feet in a volcanic blast, creating a crater 3 square miles. 3 cylinder cones grew together surrounding the crater rim: Columbia Crest, the central snowy dome, Point Success to the south, and Liberty Cap to the north. The British explorer Captain George Vancouver discovered the mountain in 1792 and named it for a fellow naval officer, Peter Rainier. This is the most amazing view, and this is down the ways from Rainier, which is right there, Mount Rainier. But that doesn't take away from the beauty of this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Looks like there's a walking trail down there too. I think it's a 5.5 mile walk. It probably takes you down through those meadows and stuff like that, but man, that is beautiful. Well, we've come to a place called Paradise, and this is a little kind of a resorty kind of area. There's some lodging, Paradise Inn. There's a gift shop and a little gift shop where you can get some snacks and trinkets and stuff like that. Huge. So we're walking along the trail, and this little guy is standing right on the side. It's like he's grazing, or she's grazing. Look at the size of those ears. Yeah, she's chewing on something. Waiting for her to pop her head up a little bit. There she is. Hi there. This is called Myrtle Falls, and as you can see in the background right there is Mount Rainier. I don't know if this camera will pick it up, but on the glacier point right there, where the ice is melting, you can see that deep blue ice up there. It's beautiful. Well, we walked up a little bit farther from the parking lot. It was about a 1/2 mile walk from the parking lot to get to that falls that I just showed you. And we came up from the top of the falls. Just get this gorgeous, gorgeous view of Mount Rainier here. The trail continues, but I don't know how much farther, it gets. I mean, realistically, you can't really get too much higher. But this is good enough. I mean, this is such a beautiful place, a beautiful mountain with these glaciers on it. How many glaciers did it say it had? I think there's, if I'm not mistaken, there's 6 separate glaciers on this mountain. God, I don't really want to leave here. It's just so gorgeous. There's a plane coming over the top of it right there. Wow. So nice here. Even those mountains out there are pretty.
Yeah.
Well, we made it to the Mount St. Helens National Volcanic Monument, And I mean, it's a very majestic mountain. I was kind of hoping that we would be able to get a little bit closer to it, but I don't know if that's possible. We're gonna press on. We're gonna go a little bit further down the road to see, you know, if there's any way that we can get a little bit closer to it. But even if we can't, this is a very spectacular mountain. As we're coming around the bend here, you can see where the whole side of the mountain is blown out from that volcano, that eruption back in 1980. It's unbelievable. And then over there, I believe that one with the snow caps on it that's Rainier, which we were at just a couple of days ago. So you've got, and Rainier also is a volcano. So you've got volcano one here and another volcano over there. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be a little strange to live next to something like this, but it sure is pretty to visit. I'll tell you that much. Now you can see how there's literally, well, there's some life down here, obviously, because all the green is coming back, but up towards that mountain, it may be altitude as well that keeps a lot of the trees and the stuff from growing. But I mean, you can see where it just kind of blew out the side and then came all the way down here. When I was a kid, you used to be able to go to, right after Mount St. Helens blew, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken, when you went in, you bought a 3-piece meal, they would give you a little, like those little styrofoam tubs that they put their coleslaw in. They would give you one of those full of Mount St. Helens ash. It was a thing. And I remember I used to go down to Kentucky Fried Chicken all the time because I really liked to, you know, to get the ash. So I had a bunch of these tubs of ash. Of course, they're all gone now. I have no idea whatever happened to them, but I really wish I would have saved one of them, because that would have been just kind of a neat, you know, piece of history that I would have had. But yeah, those are long gone. And I've never been here before, and I've always, you know, I remember when this thing blew up when I would have been 10 years old at the time. And I remember when the thing blew, and it was, I mean, it was such a huge disaster that, you know, it really devastated this area. It really did. But it was, you know, it's just a memory of mine from when I was a kid, and I've always wanted to come here. And today I did. So I'm going to enjoy it a little bit, and then I think like I said, we're going to probably press on a little bit up the road, see if we can get a little bit closer. If not, we're going to head on out. But I'm glad we came anyway. So we are able to get a little bit closer to it. What I've learned is that I was expecting, when it said that it was a monument to the volcano, that meant it was just one particular site that you would go to, but it appears that the monument itself is the whole surrounding area of it. So there's all kinds of viewpoints that apparently go, I believe, most of the way around the mountain, if not all the way. But that is, you can see where it kind of blew out the side there. And this sign here says that the eruption began with a massive landslide that filled the valley below you, with an average of 150 feet of mud, rock, and huge intact pieces of mountain. This created a new landscape of hills and depressions, providing places for water to pool, forming 150 new ponds and wetlands. Virtually nothing survived the landslide. Scientists expected life to return gradually in an orderly step-by-step progression. Instead, they have been awed by surprising interactions between plants, animals, and this new environment. I mean, imagine the amount of power and the amount of force that it would take to blow out the entire side of a mountain like that. I mean, that's an unbelievable power right there. I'm not going to follow this trail for very long. I just kind of want to get up to the top here, because as it turns out, we were able to get quite a bit closer to to the mountain, as you can see right there. And this is a better view because this is the side, you know, you're kind of more in the front of where the side is that blue. This would be actually a pretty cool trail to hike. You know, if we had more time, that would be great. Wow. I don't know. We were told that this wasn't quite as big as Mount Rainier. And maybe it's not. But it's pretty big. And it is definitely spectacular. It's beautiful. It looks like, I don't know if you can see, but kind of like where the part that, you know, is coming down here way at the top, just below the highest point there, it looks like there's steam coming out of the top of that. Or I don't know if maybe that's, I don't know what that is. I wonder if that's steam coming out of there. It is. It is. There's clouds up above it. But that stuff that's coming out of the top is not part of those clouds. That's steam. I hope it doesn't blow up while I'm here. Unbelievable. And then look at the landscape around it. And oh, look at this. You see all the logs laying there on the side of the mountain? I was reading back on one of the plans that when the thing blew, it leveled everything down, and you can see all the trees that those trees have been laying there since that day in 1980. That's a trip. I was reading about it, but I didn't see anything until that right there. Wow. There's people down there walking along that ridge. I don't know if that's a Johnson Ridge. I think it is, but the signs on the way up here said that it was closed. But you can follow that trail. Looks like all the way down there around that bend. It says here that within 15 minutes after the eruption began, the boiling ash rocketed 15 miles skyward. Winds carried the cloud eastward away from this spot, and ash rained down across 4 states. So this sign here says that at 8:32 a.m. on May 18th, 1980, the north side of the mountain slid away, releasing a tremendous sideways explosion. The searing blast plowed through the landscape, picking up large rocks and other landslide debris. Within 90 seconds, the debris-filled blast struck this forested hillside, pulverizing ancient trees. The nearly 500-mile-per-hour blast shattered and toppled trees, sweeping some into the valley in front of you. The blast stripped their bark and branches, carrying them miles away. The mangled stumps around you are the remains of 150-foot-tall trees, testimony to the blast's incredible power. So that's what these are. So these trees here, this one, well, you know, these are the two obvious ones. This one here, 500-mile-an-hour blast when this thing went, and just sheared these things off right towards the ground. They were originally 150 feet in the air, and I couldn't even imagine 500-mile-an-hour blast. And a gentleman was telling me down the trail there that the heat of it was about 1,500 degrees. And then you can see on the hillside over there, all the trees just laid down, headed that direction. That's all from when the eruption occurred. Well, it looks like this is the end of the road for our Mount St. Helens adventure for today. but it has not disappointed, not even one little bit. I think this is about as close as we're going to be able to get.